This is Dr. Thomas Ray, and I want to talk to you today about something most men overlook, not because they don't care, but because they've been conditioned not to notice. You see, for most of your life, vitality was something you probably didn't think twice about. You woke up, moved through your day, handled stress, pushed forward, and it just worked. But somewhere after 60, it doesn't work the same anymore. Not because you're weak, not because you're broken, but because your body is asking you to listen differently now. And often, the things that are draining your energy, your strength, and your clarity aren't the big things. They're the quiet habits, the small choices you repeat every day without realizing they're slowly wearing you down. In this video, we're going to explore 7 daily habits that quietly drain male vitality after 60. These are the things I see over and over again in my private practice. Men who think they're doing everything right but still feel tired before noon, numb in body and mind, emotionally flat, or just like they're not themselves anymore. And often it's not that they're not doing enough, it's that they're doing a few things wrong consistently. But here's the good news: once you become aware of these habits, you can change them gently, gradually, without shame. And when you do, your body will surprise you. It will respond. It will remember how to be strong again. So if you're ready to find out what might be quietly draining your vitality and how to turn it around, let's begin. Habit number 1: skipping morning light. One of the most overlooked habits that drains male vitality after 60 is something so subtle, so ordinary, you might not even think it matters. It's this: you start your day in the dark, behind curtains, under artificial light, on your phone, or just moving slowly from room to room, never actually stepping outside. But your body isn't just waking up to tasks, it's waking up to timing. Your internal clock, your circadian rhythm, relies on light to know when to release hormones. And the very first trigger of that rhythm each day is morning sunlight. When your eyes receive natural light within the first 30 to 60 minutes of waking, you tell your brain it's time to lower melatonin. It's time to raise cortisol, but gently. It's time to begin testosterone support. It's time to sharpen focus. But when you skip that light, even for a few days in a row, your hormone cycle gets blurry. You may start to notice feeling tired even after a full night's sleep, slower thinking in the morning, weaker testosterone response, poorer mood regulation, and eventually shallower sleep at night. This one habit, avoiding natural morning light, can quietly unravel your entire hormonal rhythm over time. But the fix is simple. Start your day by stepping outside for 5 to 10 minutes. No sunglasses, no phone, just stand or walk. Let the light touch your eyes. Even on cloudy days, natural light is 10 to 50x stronger than indoor bulbs. This isn't about being productive. It's about giving your body what it needs to wake up like a man should, naturally, clearly, and hormonally aligned. Just a few minutes of sunlight can shift everything. Let's move on to the next quiet habit that might be draining your strength. Habit number 2: drinking coffee on an empty stomach. I know this one might sound controversial because for so many men, coffee is a ritual. It's the first thing you reach for. It's how you start the engine, and you've probably been doing it for decades. But here's what most men don't realize: drinking coffee on an empty stomach, especially first thing in the morning, can quietly damage your hormonal balance. Let's talk about why. When you wake up, your body is already in a fasted state. Your blood sugar is low, your cortisol is naturally rising to help wake you up, your digestive system is still quiet, and then you pour in caffeine, a stimulant that spikes cortisol even higher without any fuel to buffer it. What happens next? Your nervous system goes into mild stress mode. Your testosterone curve is disrupted. Your insulin response becomes more erratic. And over time, you feel more tired after the caffeine wears off than before. In younger men, the body can compensate. But after 60, your adrenal system is more sensitive, and repeated spikes from coffee without food can leave you feeling shaky or anxious mid-morning, unmotivated by afternoon, tired but wired at night, or just emotionally flat. And the worst part? You often don't connect it to coffee because it's normal. But your body doesn't want stimulation, it wants support. So here's a simple fix. If you're going to drink coffee, eat something first. Even just a small piece of fruit, a boiled egg, or a spoon of nut butter. Give your system something to work with, or better yet, Try delaying coffee until 60 to 90 minutes after waking, once your natural cortisol wave has peaked. This one change can help stabilize your energy, protect your hormones, and support your testosterone without giving up your morning ritual. Let's move on to the next quiet habit. Habit number 3: sitting too long without movement. There's a habit that's become so common, so accepted in modern life that we rarely stop to question it. It's this: sitting too long without moving. You wake up, have coffee, sit. You check emails, sit. You watch TV, sit. You eat lunch, sit. You scroll your phone, sit. And by the time the day ends, your body has spent 8 to 12 hours in stillness. Now, let me be clear: there's nothing wrong with rest. There's nothing wrong with taking breaks, but prolonged sitting, especially after 60, becomes more than just a posture. It becomes a signal to your body. And that signal says we don't need energy, we don't need circulation, we don't need testosterone. Yes, your hormone system responds to movement. When you move, even gently, blood flow increases to the brain and muscles, nitric oxide production improves, testosterone stays active, and metabolism stays alive. But when you sit too long, especially without breaks, testosterone begins to decline. Circulation weakens, especially in the lower body. Your posture collapses, compressing your breath, your digestion slows, and you may feel tired, foggy, or emotionally numb. The fix: you don't need to become an athlete. You don't even need to work out. You just need to stand up and move every hour. Set a reminder. Walk around your home. Do a few stretches. Swing your arms, roll your shoulders, breathe deeply. Even just 2-3 minutes of light motion can reverse the hormonal shutdown caused by sitting. Your body isn't asking for punishment, it's asking for permission to stay alive, engaged, and responsive. Motion is medicine, and the older you get, the more vital that medicine becomes. Let's move on to the next quiet habit that might be draining your strength. Habit number 4: late night screen use. This one is subtle because at the end of the day, you're tired. You've done your best. You just want to relax. So you reach for the remote, scroll your phone, open YouTube, or check the news. It feels like a break, but to your body, it's actually a burden. Late night screen use is one of the fastest ways to disrupt male hormone recovery after 60. Why? Because your body relies on darkness to know it's time to rest. And the moment your eyes detect light, especially blue light from screens, your brain delays melatonin production. Melatonin is more than a sleep hormone. It's a signal to your entire system. Lower cortisol. Prepare for testosterone rebuild. Activate tissue repair and cellular detox. Without melatonin, your body doesn't enter deep sleep. And without deep sleep, your testosterone can't rebuild overnight. This is why many men feel restless at bedtime, groggy in the morning, emotionally flat, or wake up tired, even after 7 to 8 hours. The issue isn't just sleep quantity, it's sleep quality, and screens, especially used within 1 to 2 hours of bedtime, steal that from you. So, what can you do? Here's a gentle shift: turn off screens at least 60 minutes before bed. Use warm, dim lights in the evening, salt lamps, amber bulbs. Try reading a physical book, journaling, or simply breathing in silence. If you must use a screen, wear blue light blocking glasses or activate night mode. You don't need to give up technology, you just need to give your body a window to return to rhythm. That's how testosterone comes back, not with force, but through light, darkness, and rest that's truly restorative. Let's move to the next habit that might be draining your energy silently each day. Habit number 5: not drinking water until afternoon. This one surprises a lot of men because it seems harmless. You wake up, maybe you go straight to coffee, you have a small breakfast, run a few errands, and before you realize it, it's already 1 or 2 p.m. and you haven't had a full glass of water all day. It doesn't feel like a big deal, but to your body, especially after 60, it's a silent stress signal. Delaying hydration until the afternoon is one of the quietest ways to slow down testosterone transport, brain clarity, and energy metabolism. Here's why. Overnight, your body loses water through breathing, sweating, and urination. By morning, your cells are dehydrated, even if you don't feel thirsty. And when you don't rehydrate early, blood becomes thicker, thus slowing circulation. Delivery of hormones like testosterone becomes sluggish. Cortisol stays elevated to compensate, and brain fog starts to settle in quietly. It also affects memory, mood stability, joint lubrication, and even blood pressure. Many men think they're just tired in the morning when really they're just dry. So, what can you do? It's simple. Within 30 minutes of waking, drink a full glass of water, add a pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon for better absorption. Then, sip water throughout the morning, before coffee if possible. If you wait until afternoon to hydrate, you're spending the first half of your day in hormonal lag mode. But when you begin your morning with hydration, you support testosterone delivery, circulation, and clarity. Your body wants flow, and flow begins with water. Habit number 6, holding in emotions. This one may be the most uncomfortable to talk about because as men, we're taught to be steady, to stay composed, to be the one who holds it all together. And over time, that expectation becomes a habit. You feel something, but you don't say it. You're angry, but you swallow it. You're hurt, but you shrug it off. You're exhausted, but you smile and keep going. But what happens when that's your daily pattern for years, even decades? It doesn't just stay in your heart, it shows up in your hormones. You see, emotional suppression is physical stress. Every time you push a feeling down, your body responds with a small cortisol spike, and repeated spikes over time disrupt the balance between cortisol and testosterone. What starts as emotional control quietly turns into fatigue, muscle loss, low libido, mood instability, poor sleep, and even high blood pressure. Your body isn't punishing you, it's just overloaded. It's trying to process what you never gave it space to release. And the solution isn't becoming emotional all the time, it's becoming honest, gently, safely, regularly. Start by creating small daily habits of emotional release. Journal one line about how you truly feel. Speak honestly to someone you trust, even once a week. Move your body when you're tense. Walk, stretch, breathe. Sit quietly and name what's really present in your chest without judgment. You don't need to fix your emotions. You just need to let them move so they don't get stuck in your chemistry. Because when you release what's heavy, you make space for testosterone, circulation, and energy to return. Let's move on to the final habit, one that many men don't even know is costing them strength. Habit number 7, going to bed without a wind down routine. You've made it through the day, you've eaten, maybe watched a little TV, and now it's time to sleep. So you turn off the lights, crawl into bed, and hope that your body will just shut down. But it doesn't. Your mind keeps spinning, your body doesn't relax, you toss and turn, and by morning you feel like you barely rested at all. Here's the truth. Going to bed without a wind down routine is one of the quietest ways to block testosterone recovery, night after night. Let me explain. Your body doesn't fall asleep like flipping a switch. It follows a process, a slow transition from alertness to rest. And if you don't guide that process, your nervous system stays active, even when you're lying down. That means cortisol stays elevated, melatonin is delayed, deep sleep is shallow or skipped, and testosterone never gets its chance to rebuild AI. Remember, your body rebuilds testosterone during sleep, especially between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., but it can't do that if you bring stress, noise, and stimulation straight into bed. So, what's the fix? Build a simple wind down routine, nothing fancy, just a signal to your body that it's time to let go. Try this. Dim the lights 60 minutes before sleep, turn off screens, or wear blue light blockers. Take 5 slow breaths with your eyes closed. Stretch or sit in silence for a few minutes. Reflect on one thing you're grateful for. You don't need perfection, you need rhythm, because the man who learns to slow down at night is the one whose hormones stay strong the next day. You've just heard 7 habits, 7 small, ordinary things that so many men do without realizing the cost. And if you recognize yourself in any of them, I want you to know something. You're not failing. You're not falling apart. You're just out of rhythm. Because vitality after 60 isn't about doing more, it's about doing differently. It's about learning to live in partnership with your body, not in defiance of it. The truth is, you don't need extreme routines, you don't need expensive treatments, and you certainly don't need to become someone you're not. What you need is permission, permission to slow down, to notice, to breathe, to move, to rest with intention, to reconnect with the parts of yourself that still want to thrive, because they're still there. Your strength hasn't disappeared, it's just been waiting for the conditions to return. So start with one habit, just one. Maybe it's drinking water in the morning, maybe it's stepping outside for sunlight, maybe it's sitting quietly before bed. Let that one shift ripple through your system, then add another and another. In time, your body will respond, not with fireworks, but with something deeper: steadiness. If this video gave you something, clarity, peace, or a new sense of possibility, I invite you to subscribe to Men's Vitality After 60. Each week, we share practical wisdom, natural tools, and quiet encouragement, not to chase performance, but to reclaim presence. I'm Dr. Thomas Ray, and I believe every man still carries the fire. Sometimes it just needs less noise and more care. You're not too late, you're right on time. See you in the next video. This content is for educational purposes only. Please consult your healthcare provider before making any health decisions.